Hi, it's Dan Veall here once again, and I've got the Zoom B1xON effects unit here to check out. This is one of two B1 models. This one features an expression pedal on the side, the other model is just the bare effects side on its own. So we've got the big brother of the two to look at today. This is ultra cool, 100 effects including distortions, compressions, modulations, delays, reverbs, and also 5 pedal controlled effects as well on board. What's interesting about this little chap is you can have up to 5 effects at once, unlike the B3 or the MS60B, which I've also looked at in my various reviews. We've got 100 memory locations on this little chap, 10 banks of 10 for the storage of your own creations, effects, and there's a really cool facility on here which allows you to pre-select an effect before you need to enable it, so you can set the unit up. So if you're doing mid-performance, you can set up a sound change and then just initiate it with one pedal push rather than doing the little multi effects unit tap dance, which some of us have gotten used to over the years. Onboard chromatic tuner, accessed by holding down both pedals at the same time. Really cool. It does track the low B on my Dingwall bass that you can see behind me. No problem. So fantastic. I like that a lot. It's always very important for us 5-stringers or extended range. We've also got a looper and also a drum machine on here with 68 built-in rhythms. Now the looper gives me 30 seconds of loop time, but a really cool thing about the two together is that when you start off the drum machine, it'll give you a count in, which will start the looper, so you can actually record a loop in time with the drums, come out of that, choose another sound, a different effect, come back into the looper and then re-record your layer with the new effect on it. So you can actually keep sticking new effects on top of every new loop. Inputs and outputs on the back, there's 2 1/4-inch jack sockets, pretty standard fare really, a power socket for external power, although it does take AA batteries. There's also an auxiliary input and a little USB jack as well on there, okay, for doing things like updates and stuff. Zoom say that on batteries you're going to get about 20 hours usage, but the chances are if you've got this on the pedal board you're going to be running this from an adapter anyway. It's really lightweight, it's a plastic shell, and actually it's been faring pretty well under my great big size 13s, so I think actually you're going to probably find that this is going to be okay. It doesn't look like it's going to fall apart anytime soon, but you know, that's for you to feed back and let me know how it's got on with being thrown around the back of your bandwagon or whatever it might be. Right, okay, I'm going to shut up and move on. What I want to do is I'm going to have a quick whistle-stop tour of some of the sounds on here, and maybe I won't spend a great deal of time going through all the menus as I did last time, because the last review is about 25 minutes long and I suspect probably people were falling asleep. So I'm going to get on and we're going to hear some sounds. Incidentally, you are watching this on a Zoom Q8 camera, so we've got the two together, the two Zooms. I'm going to take the stereo audio feed straight out of this into the back of the camera, and then the ambient sound, me talking over the top, is going to be picked up by a stereo pair microphone on top. Camera is super brilliant, absolutely brilliant for recording really loud live bands with no signs of distortion or anything like that. So I'm going to use that for this review as well. Cool, right, here we go. I shall catch you in just a moment when I've set this up and we can hear what it can do. Cool, okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so here we go. Looking at the front panel, I've tried to zoom in as much as possible, and I started off by enabling the tuner, so just holding down both pedals at the same time brings up this really cool, nice clear tuner. I just quickly want to demonstrate that using my Dingwall AB1 bass, it picks up the low B no problem at all, so hopefully I'm still in tune. Let's have a look. absolutely rock solid, no flickering, no nothing. I just tuned it up on the tuner just a moment ago, just before I started recording. Brilliant stuff. Hit any pedal and the display reverts back to your patch which you had selected, and at the moment I've put the pedal into a normal up-down mode, so using the down key or the up key on the right hand side, you can just scroll through each patch in turn rather than jumping to a particular place using the presets, the preload menu, which we'll have a look at later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just choose a few random patches, and I'm going to play those. Now some of the pedal effects can be difficult, as well as trying to use the looper, because this pedal is up on a stand and I don't have a third hand to reach over whilst I'm playing. So apologies, you just have to take my word on what I think of the looper anyway. So moving on, this is patch B6, it's called Chordal. And I'm just going to play some different sounds so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, here we go. Excellent. Some harmonics, a little bit of basic slap, and some fingerstyle there to start us off. Let's move on and have a listen to some other effects. These are completely random. I've not prepared this. I'm just going to go to any setting and see what comes up. Okay, so this one is solo DLA VRB, so I'm assuming this is going to be a solo sound with some delay and reverb on. Let's have a little listen to this one, and I'll do a little solo thing. Excellent, a little bit of delay in the background there, being picked up when I hit some accents there. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Spaceman, Fripp out. Okay, so I'm expecting some nice Robert Fripp style soundscapes. Let's see what happens with this one. I like that, and it's still going now in the background. A nice long tail off on that, maybe bringing up the wet mix on that effect would give you some really lush, almost string synth chordal kind of sound. Very, very useful if you happen to be playing in, say, a three-piece and you don't have a keyboard player. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Fuzzes, verbs, all sorts of things going on here actually. I just want to find one which is a little bit interesting. Studio, I don't know what this is going to be. Clean compressed sound, let's have a little listen. Yeah, okay. Exactly that. So yeah, I can actually feel the compression coming in. Now I suspect actually with this recording you're going to hear a lot of the ambient sounds coming through the microphones, which is probably going to hide the compressing effect that I'm getting through my tracking earphones here. Let's have a look at Fat Man. I don't know what this is. Nice big fat fat bass sound. I like that. Let's see if we can find something a little bit crazy. Big Willie. Here we go. Another clean sound actually. I want something with some crazy effects on it. Reggae bass, that's going to be a big fat bass sound, isn't it? Fusion. Yet more chorus. Dub bass. Okay, let's try this one. Tremolo. This is F3, it's called Ice. Nice, rich effects on there. Listen up. Really nice swelling and effects there. Slap and wah. Okay, so this is likely to be a pedal effect, which means I can't reach over and do both. Let's just have a quick listen. I'm going to play the D and G strings, and I'm going to see if I can manipulate that pedal so we can hear what's going on. So not exactly a technical demonstration there, but you can hear that the pedal wah is involved in this effect, and then it's saying slap, so let's see what happens. Lots of compression on that, it's really clamping the signal down. It sounds pretty smooth actually. This affects F7 pull mellow. All 5 effect slots are filled. Be interesting to find out what's going on inside that one. But certainly there's no problems with processing. It still sounds nice and clear. I can't hear any strange crackles or noise artifacts in my earphones. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Hopefully this can be a distortion. I've been wanting to listen to these on this pedal and demonstrate them for you. Lots of crunchy gain there. Really should practice before I start. A nice slight gritty distortion, sounds really good for those old school and vintage bass sounds. Extra, extra! So this is G2. a gritty and fairly mushy sounding distortion, I'd probably want to go into that and just get a bit more bite, a little bit more top end into it, just to make it cut through the mix a little bit. And then finally, King Sal, let's have a listen to this one. Now this one actually I can see in block 3 is saying there's a pedal effect in here. Let's try and reach around and see what that does. Oh cool, excellent, this is nice. So we've got an awesome kind of whammy effect going on. Let's see what that does. I'm going to just play the C on my A string. Down we go. Oh, nice. Up we go. G on the E string. And let's do a C on my B string. No problem with tracking an octave up. Really good for those synth kind of almost like dubstep kind of effects. So awesome, you can do that with the B1. Okay, now that is an idea of what the pedal sounds like going direct. So there's no extra EQ, no extra compression or anything like that. And you're going to find that you're going to get a lot more control when you're plugging into the front of your amp or recording a rig or whatever it might be. Okay, so on the front display, as I said, we've got 2 keys for choosing patches going up and down, up and down. I mentioned the, I guess you could call it the pre-select function, so I'm going to just show you that very, very quickly. If you go into menu, hopefully if I can find it, it's actually there already. So in menu settings, go into enter, so pre-select, I don't know if you can see that in the screen, I can just about make it out. If you choose this and use the rotary control in the middle, you can select that to, hang on a minute, so I need to go into that menu, that's it, there we go, and then turn it to on. Right, brilliant. Hitting home takes you back to an effect. Now, before when I was hitting each of these pedals, the number, patch number was just incrementing as we went through. Now what happens this time is I can go and find the next effect that I want. So for example, I'm going from G3 now to G5, but you've not heard G4 in between. Now as soon as I'm ready to use that effect, I'm going to lean over and basically get one foot, sorry I've just hit camera there, get one foot or both feet if you can, and push down both pedals at the same time, and you'll notice that it enables G5. You can then be playing a G5 effect. Set up G3, you heard that my sound didn't change at all. No delays, no clicks, no nothing. Hit both pedals at the same time. Seamlessly gone to G3 again. That's a pretty cool way of accessing an alternative effect without actually having to have an external MIDI board or anything like that. Obviously, it's a small pedal, there's certain limitations, and we haven't got rows and rows of extra buttons across the front. But this seems to be one of the most logical ways of accessing new effects without having more board real estate. Okay, so we've looked at the tuner, the effects on board, this ability to jump to different patches. Around the right hand side of the display we have a set of keys which allow you to edit and control your effects signal path, as well as over here the right hand side we can actually access the looper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you get into it and what's basically available, but as I said, I'm kind of limited on what I can do with the camera set up in this way. So essentially going in, one click will take you to rhythm, and you've got play and stop buttons. You can just see it written play and stop, and if you hold down this button it will also clear the sorry, that will be for the looper, it will clear the loop, but we've got play and stop for the drum machine here. You can choose a whole bunch of different patterns, so rock beats, jazz beats, even just a click just to keep you in time. There's a level control and also your tempo control in the middle, so you can set up the pulse that you're working to. Quick demonstration. get the idea. There you go. A very, very simple little bass line to go along with that drum part. You know, we're not talking you know, superior drums here. This isn't going to be something to record your next album with. I don't know, maybe you like the sound, maybe you would do. But in terms of a practice unit or something to do some nice easy performances with, the rhythms on this are perfectly acceptable and usable. Clicking the rhythm looper button again will take you into the looper. You can see the display change there. And the same as before, we have the beats per minute in the middle, the level control for the loops, and on the left hand, how the looper, I guess, interacts with the drum machine and the tempo. Again, it's one of those things where I haven't got enough free hands to actually go into this in great detail. Check out the manual, even better, try out the pedal for yourself. But you've got a record button. You can see, actually it says record here. And then also your stop and clear. If you hold down the right hand button, it will clear your loop. And that's what I tried to say a moment ago when I got slightly confused about the drum machine. And as I said, if you set them both up with the sound, you can go back to rhythm, and by starting the rhythm with the looper, then you also get the ability to have a count in from the drum machine. It plays the drum beat, and you can record your bass line or whatever part it is at the same time, come back out of the looper, and then you can play along to bass and drums. Obviously, when you do that, you can also select a new effect block for your melody sound or your chord sound, or you know, Robert Fripp kind of soundscape chords over the top to make it sound really, really exciting and interesting. Now back to our main display. And what we're going to do is I'm going to try and create an effect from scratch, and we'll see how we get on with that. So first of all, I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to find an empty spot to add my own presets. Okay, so here we go. I've gone to patch A0, and all I've done is I've deleted all of the effects from that chain, so we can start from scratch. Now what I'm going to do is imagine I'm doing maybe a recording session, and on a nice clean, maybe slightly chorused sort of sound with one of the amp simulations on it. I haven't decided which one yet, but we'll see how we get on. Now, as you'll see on the right hand side of the display, we've got some navigation keys. They are going to allow us to scroll through the 100 different effects, and also scroll left to right in our signal chain as well. Using the rotary knob just below the display, I can actually access my what I want to do menu, I suppose, if you want to call it that. When you scroll it, you'll notice that different things flick up on the screen. So for example, we're accessing a effect block called bypass at the moment. So at the moment it's clean bass sound. That's my clean bass sound, and I can leave this patch as it is with no effects in it at all. I can save it like that. Scrolling around, I've got add effect, delete effect, and then effect chain, patch settings, and then back to start again. So I can go back around to adding an effect. So what I'm going to do is add effect, and then I'm going to go and find an effect to add. Now you can start at either end of the chain, so you can start with amplifier and then put everything in like pedals before it, or you can go the other way, or you can add things in anywhere in the chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit add effect, and as you can see, I've got 6 main blocks to access. So do you know what, I'm going to have a look at well, we'll put in a pedal to begin with. And I think what I'd like is maybe a nice compressor or something like that. So I'm going to go up to dynamics and filters, go enter, add effect here, yeah, enter. Now I've got a nice compressor here. Opto comp looks kind of familiar if you recognize the label there. Yeah, we might try that one. Let's see what else we've got. If I use the up and down keys, you can see I can start rolling through my 100 different effects. D comp, M comp, 160 comp. Oh, I kind of like the idea of that one. I might use that one actually. A limiter, and then we're into different effects. So we've got a few compressors to look at. Let's go for the good old 160. You probably know what that's based on. Let's have a little listen to that. Nice, clean compressor. Brilliant. I'm going to leave it on its default settings, come out of that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move along like so, and then I want to add a new effect. So I think a little bit of chorus, so we'll add that chorus in. So back to our add effect menu, and I'm going to very quickly go around modulations and special effects, enter. Where do I want to add it? I want to add it actually after the compressor. So the compressor's block 1, so I'm going to put it in here. He says, no, the bypass is block 1, the compressor's block 2. Okay, there we go. And then we've got the a tremolo effect as our default setting. Bass chorus. Like so, and then I'm going to move on. So we've got a nice bass chorus effect there. I can go back home and maybe a little bit of EQ. We'll add that in. So I'm going to just scroll to the right of that, and I'll go add effect. Here we go, like that. And this time I want some EQ. So I think I'm going to find that in dynamics and filters. I hope so, otherwise it's going to be really embarrassing. Okay, here we go then. So add effect. I'll put it in block 4. There we go. And around we go. Let's see if we can find where that's going to live. Ah, brilliant. There we go. Bass EQ, or even a parametric EQ. Let's use that one. Like so. And actually when I clicked enter, it's now gone into my menu, so I can start editing what I want to see in those different settings. So for example, frequency, the width of each of the bands, and also its gain. I'm going to just do this. It's 100 Hz at the moment, so I'm going to go into this. I'm just going to add just a bit of gain to the 100 Hz region. So have a little listen. Like so, come out. And there we have now 4 effects blocks all running. I'm going to add just one more. I want an amp simulator on the end. So I'm going to scroll around once more, and then go add effect, enter. Amp. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to add it at the end of the chain, so that's going to be our final block that we're going to use. Number 5. This one says SVT. Wow, I wonder what that could be. Brilliant. So, in fact, yeah, let's stay with that one. That's good. So we've got a good old SVT setting. Incidentally, we have other amps like B1xON HRT 3500. Absolutely brilliant amp, if you know what that is. SWR, flip top, looks fairly familiar. Acoustic, and we've got some different sounds to look at. Good old Aguilar here. Let's go and find that SVT again just for now. You can choose whatever you like. Here we go. And there we go, we've got ourselves a sound. Now, coming out of the menu, you can go straight into your settings menu, and what a surprise, you also have save in here as well, so you can go in and actually save your individual patch with a new name. So for example, I can go in, ask you where you want to save it, and obviously you can change the default UK groove sound to something a bit more meaningful, whatever it is that you happen to be going for. Once you've got your sound set up, you can obviously use the pre-select to jump between those if they're in different banks, or if you just set it up for A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, whatever you need to do to have all of your effects for a particular show or performance in order. Really, that rounds it up. As I said, I'm not going to go through every single effect and have a listen to every single parameter. That's something that you're going to be able to do in your own time. And there's so much on board. If I went through every single effect, 100 different effects with 4 or 5 parameters per each one, you know, going to be here for a long while. So I'm hoping that this review has given you an idea of what the B1 can actually do, which, you know, to be honest, for the money is absolutely ridiculous. You know, even if you just use this as a little unit to practice along with by plugging your MP3 player in, you'll be laughing. You're really going to be laughing. So there we go, rounding up, this is the Zoom B1xON. I hope you have enjoyed checking out this review, and maybe somebody will send me some more toys to play with soon. Brilliant stuff, take care, and I look out for your comments. Cheers, bye.